Welcome to Hack Shack Studios. RT Bear here. Yes, just getting in under the wire for the morning show. Had a lot to do this morning, and I had the idea of coming in a lot earlier, but fires need to be put out. Good ones too. I'm starting to get color work back for black and white, looking freaking good. So if you guys haven't heard, Black and White Volume 2, Man versus the Machine, is going to be coming out very, very soon. And I'm starting to get some color pages back from Perea. And that's what I was doing this morning. One of the many things I was doing this morning. And holy cow. These pages look awesome, man. You guys are going to dig it. You guys are so going to dig it. And yeah, I have another dilemma that I want to run by the chat, since you guys are all my friends. It would never lead me astray. I want to get your input on something that happened over Memorial Day weekend, and it was on my Facebook post. So I want to get your opinion on this. And so first, I want to say hi to everybody. This is my favorite part. Mighty Joe, how are you, brother? We got Hyper Kaiju. Yo, yo, yo. We got Joe Bernardo. Aloha. Aloha. I like the, I've been to Maui, and I've been to, what is the other one? I like Maui. I've been there 3 times, I think. And then the other one, holy shit. It's the one that doesn't have a sandy beach. It has a coral beach. It's I think, one of the bigger islands. Can't remember it now. Okay, so much for that. Robert Romano, what's up? First, hey Art, what's up? What's up, man? Mighty Joe beat me. Yeah, that Mighty Joe is fast. He's mighty. Dale, what's up? What is Art on about today? Saying the N-word. That's what I need help with. That's what I need help with. I want to see if somebody called me an N-word. I wouldn't put it past them to have called me an N-word, because, you know, I am. According to most people that don't agree with Comicsgate. I think we all get labeled. We all get labeled a Nazi. So, hey, Joe, dude. You get the Inko. I'm still working on it, so we're going to be posting these soon. You guys will be able to pick yourself up an Inko t-shirt very soon. One more thing that needs to be done, followed through on. Dead Drop, good morning, Art and chat. Good morning to you. Mighty Joe says, I finally made the stream, first time in months. Well, hey, I'm glad you did. I'm glad you did, because we are going to have some crazy fun indeed. And I need your help, Mighty Joe. I need your help, as do I need Southern Comic Geeks' help. What's up, folks? I don't know if that was the island. Wait, hold on for a sec. I had to run this by my wife. It was Kona. It was the island of Kona. They have beautiful, like, coral beaches. You got to be careful. Actually, my daughter cut her foot on some coral. Nasty cuts. You got to clean those things out good, because apparently coral will grow under the skin if you don't clean it out good enough. What's up, Billy? How are you? Kevin, what's up? I borrow ideas, but only the good ones. What's up? Enjoying constant rain? Yeah, I heard it's kind of not normal. Like, I have a guy doing some work for me, and I was talking to him yesterday, and he was saying, because I was saying, like, you know, it's been raining for like 9 days straight or whatever, and I said it's probably, you're hurting your business, because, you know, he works outdoors. And he was saying, yeah, this is this is not really normal for this time of year. So I was like, well, I like it. I don't make my living outside though, so I can say that. So Joe, I sent you an Inco on Facebook Messenger. Wait, let me check this out. An Inco. Let me see. Joe. Oh shit. I can't make it bigger though. Oh yeah, wait. Let's see. Okay, let's share this with everybody. Oh, it's kind of cool, man. Back to StreamYard. Joe is the biggest Inco fan there is, perhaps in the world. So let's see. I think this is it. Are you guys seeing this? Let's see if I can make it a little bigger. Ooh. Get inked. I like this, man. That's cool. Ah, you made the cork look like a real cork. That's cool. Oh, there's like energy. It looks like there's energy flowing out of the top of the inkwell. Oh man, cool. Special effects. That looks awesome, Joe. Get inked. I like that. All right. Well, thanks, Joe. That was cool. That's freaking cool. You guys are the best. But yeah, I am enjoying the constant rain. Pedro, what's up, my friend? Hey, Art, me wanna Inco t-shirt. You and many others, my friend. That will happen. Everything will happen. Oh shit! I got to jump to this. This guy's a bane in my existence. He does not like the word hullaballoo. He says it sounds old-fashioned. I think it just sounds cool, and I like saying it. So Dan Franka, you know, tough titty, as they used to say. Man, I'll tell you, Dan, I had a great time on Aaron Lepresti's show last night. We did a Spilling the Ink Professionals, and Aaron Lepresti set it up like a game show. So it was movie taglines, and based on the tagline, we had to guess the movie. And we all did pretty good, man. And Aaron prepared the hell out of it. It was like Jeopardy. And I think Graham Nolan cleaned our clocks. But I think, well, this is the way this is the way the history is going to go down for me, right? If it wasn't for that Western category, I think we would have annihilated Graham Nolan. Graham Nolan is a Western dude. He knows everything about Western movies and everything related. And yeah, I think if that category was not in there, we would have done better. But Dan came in second place. Yeah, Dan did pretty good. Dan came up with Dark Crystal, and if he would have choked, I had it chambered. I had it chambered. Yes, indeed, he do. So if you guys haven't seen it, go to Aaron Lepresti's channel. I think it's posted. It's up. You can see it. You can see it and see all the fun that we have on the Professionals. And that show is with, of course, Aaron Lepresti, Dan Franka, Graham Nolan, Andy Smith, Billy Tucci, and myself. And sometimes we have guest stars. We've had a few people. The professionals right here. And Dan says, "Dang Skippy." Dan wanted it, man. I could see the focus on your face, Dan. You were like, I gotta win this thing. I gotta win this. Yes. Ooh. Hullaballoo boom. That's a little tough to say. Hullaballoo boom. Yes. Good morning, Stephen. What is up? Oh, I forgot to say good morning to Leg Kick and Lord Crackhead. Lord Crackhead is the best Lord of all time. Oh, Donald Delay. Man, this is a Comicsgate stream indeedy do. Whoa, wait, I lost track. I lost all track of this chat. This thing's out of control. Donald says, Art, can we see your blick just hanging out, willing? Oh, the box behind me. Yeah, It's got the Inco hat on there too. So we got Victor. What's up? What's up, my brother from another Thomas mother? Oh, Dan, you didn't have to do this. I love the T-Bear. He's the hullaballoo of love. The hullaballoo of love. Yes, I like that. That's cool. All right, so we got some celebs. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Look at the love. Look at the love here. Yes, Franka boom. Okay, I am going to show. We had a visitor last night. Let me see if I can find this. I got all my tabs and I just went all over the place. And where is it? Is it here? Is it here? Is it here? It is here. All right. So let me see. All these buttons. Dan was showing me this device that I don't need to use all these buttons anymore. It's kind of like OBS, but streamlined. Okay, here we go. This little girl right here, we found out that it is a lady raccoon. It is a lady raccoon. I was out in the yard. It was raining last night, but not heavy. So I was just out in the yard, just kind of enjoying the rain and hanging out. And so then all of a sudden, in one of the flower beds, I see this little raccoon. And so I was like, holy shit. So I stopped. The raccoon stopped. And then the raccoon started coming towards me. I've never had a wild animal. Well, I've had snakes come at me. But I've never had like a fuzzy wild animal, like a good sized animal come at me. And so she started coming towards me. And so then I didn't run. I started stepping back a little bit because she wasn't exactly moving at a breakneck speed. She was kind of cautiously moving towards me. For what, I have no idea. So then I moved back a little bit, just showing some caution. And so then she kept coming and she picked up the pace. And I was like, oh shit, I'm going to get ransacked by a raccoon. And so I'm like, oh shit. So I started kind of moving at a brisker pace. And now this thing's chasing me. So I'm thinking, oh my gosh, it's getting so close to me. This thing's going to come in the house, right? As soon as I flip open the door, this thing's so close that it's just going to run in the house. I've heard like that raccoons, they don't care. Like they don't have any caution. They're not scared of many things. And so I was thinking, oh no, I'm going to have to punt this little raccoon away from the door. And so luckily I was able to outrun and get in the house without little Rocket here getting in. So then I close the door, and then this is the look I get right here. And I'm like, Pamela, what do we do? Like, she's just looking at me like, oh, I wanted to be your friend, and you ran away from me. So we started kind of throwing some nuts, some almonds, and some peanuts and stuff like through the door. We'd crack the door open. And believe me, this thing wanted in the house. Like, it was observing the door handle, how it was working, the way the door was opening. These things are smart, man. They are smart. And so we flung a few peanuts out, and then, man, it gobbled them up. And you could see like the mat, they were getting into the mat, and those little hands, man, she was digging them right out and eating them. And then she wasn't going away. So we fed her for about 5 minutes. We were giving her more nuts, and we gave her some turkey and stuff, and she seemed to appreciate it. And yeah, so I almost got bum rushed by a raccoon. So that's pretty crazy. That was pretty nutty. So yeah, we live in the woodlands, so there's all kinds of animals here, which is pretty cool actually. So Stream Deck, that's the thing. I guess it streamlines StreamYard. And it's like a little box, and it's got all kinds of buttons you can pre-program stuff in. So I'm going to have to look into that. Dan's a gizmo guy. Dan's a tech guy. I'm not. I am not at all. One of the things I was doing all this morning is I was looking into, I was talking to our cable guy, talking about getting possibly higher speed cable, but he was saying it might actually be our Wi-Fi. So I'm going to look into that later today. It's constant, man. It is constant. The high-tech gods need payment. What kind of dog is that? A very hungry dog. Yeah. She must have just had some pups. I don't know what they call raccoons, but when she got up, you could see her stomach. So she was still feeding her young, as they say. Um, no, no, I'm not. The thing is, like, out of morbid curiosity, it's like, yeah, it could be fun, right? It could be fun. Let a raccoon in your house, but how do you get them out? Like, if they decide that they don't want to leave, how do you get them out? Like, I don't want to piss these things off. I mean, they are wild animals. I heard they don't carry rabies, so at least you don't have that fear. Let's see what Skit says. Man, this is an all-star Comics Gate chat here. Don't feed them. The reason it is coming at you is because other people are feeding it. Never feed them. Never feed them. I can see that. Yeah. The guy that's working with us in the yard doing some stuff, he was saying the same thing, because my wife likes to feed the squirrels as well. So it's all fun and games until those things start destroying your house, right? I think Dan Fraga was telling me that he had squirrels in the house. So they are like little rats. They can get in the house and they can destroy stuff. Yeah, that's my fear, Stephen, that she'll be coming back every day. Yeah, that's also why you don't want to feed them, because they become like strays. Let's see what Joe says. You shouldn't give them food. Now we'll try to get in the house. Gosh. Well, now my little fun time is over. Now it's time to get serious with these raccoons. I will punt her next time I see her. I won't do that. She will be back for more food. Yeah, we've fed. We've had two others and we fed them, but they don't like come back every night. So maybe they have the whole neighborhood route. It's like trick or treat for them. They go and they look all sad at your door, and then you what? You give them food. No. There are some things I would like to shoot, but it's not a raccoon. Your garbage cans will spill over. Man, if they're strong enough to knock a garbage can over, I will show some caution, because we got some pretty big trash cans. Let's see what Steven or Seven says. You've got a raccoon for life now. Just wait, a whole pack of them will move in. What are their natural predators? I don't know what their natural predators are, and I don't know. Are they eat grubs, right? They just kind of dig around and eat bugs, I think. So that's not bad. You know, they'll eat all the bugs. Yeah, never feed them after midnight because they turn into gremlins, right? Right, Robert, is that where you were going there? So I don't know. I don't think we have. I haven't seen any wolves. Like in California, we would have like coyotes. We'd have just wild dogs and stuff like that, and they'll eat anything. So they would definitely eat these raccoons. They'll eat small cats, or they'll not even small cats. They'll eat cats. They'll eat small dogs. But I haven't seen. I don't know if we have any wolves or any like wild dogs here. We do have like wild boar. We have like wild pigs. I've heard. I haven't seen any, but people have told me. And we have armadillos. So let me see. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't really like them, to be honest, because they're just kind of cuter, like rats. And I don't like rats, and I don't like mice either, because I have had mice do damage to my car before. They made a nest, and then they ate all my ignition wires. So I was really lucky that because with like old cars, you could just replace the wires came off, like they went to the distributor cap and you could just replace them. All the new stuff, it's not like that. There's like a unit, and then they all come from this unit and everything, and it was expensive. So I had a friend in California that was an electrician, and he painstakingly took all the frayed wires and he soldered them all together. So yeah, I was real lucky with that. So man, this is going into raccoon. Like, I didn't think we'd be talking about raccoons this long. Raccoons are like me. They will eat anything. Have you ever eaten a raccoon? Yeah. I get kangaroos and koalas, emus, wombats in the area. So you're like Australia, but not in the yard yet. Well, that cannot be Texas. Kangaroos in Texas, wild kangaroos, that'd be pretty damn cool, though. Yeah. I always want to see a boxing kangaroo. Maybe I'll check that on the internet to see if I can find any footage, see if that was real. Like in the day, they used to have like boxing kangaroos. Like people would get in the ring with kangaroos. I would watch out for their feet. I don't know if they can like in the cartoons, they can angle in their tail and like kick you with their feet. I think they can do that. The mice were just having a hullaballoo, Art. Oh, indeedy do. All right. When nature attacks the T-bear. Oh my gosh. Hey Vince, I miss you, man. Vince is my convention friend. Yeah. He's a good guy, man. Loves comic books. Loves comic books. He knows way more than I do about comic books. Hallapalooza. Yes. Okay. So maybe you guys can help me with this. Okay. So let me see if I can find it. And then I have something really cool I'm going to share with you, you guys. So let me see if I can find this. Okay. It's not there. It's not there. It's not there. It's not there. Where is it? No, it's not there. Where the hell is it? Okay, here we go. Okay, let me see. All right. So what I did is, I posted some stuff up on Memorial Day, and actually my wife did a lot of posting, just showing our gratitude towards the armed services and the price that people have paid for our freedom. I know it kind of sounds corny these days to even talk this way, but I don't care. I mean, I think it's important to talk this way, personally. And so, we posted stuff, and so I got some comments. Most of them were all supportive, but then I got this couple cryptic comments, and I want you guys to help me with this. So you should be seeing my Facebook now. So this is the Facebook post I put up on Memorial Day. So it was kind of like, this is the Normandy invasion. So these are all children. I mean, look at the one kid right here. I mean, they're all really, really young. And so it says 90% of the soldiers on the first boats to hit the beach did not live to see the end of the day. Look at those faces. Some of them never made it to 18, never voted, never loved a woman, or owned a home. They gave their lives fighting Hitler and the Nazis, so today's kids can call everyone they don't like Hitler and Nazis. Not all kids do this. I mean, this is a little bit of an exaggeration, but I think we get the point. Think about it. They paid the ultimate price for your freedom. You live your life the way you do because of them. Okay, so I wasn't so much getting hung up on this middle paragraph. I was more getting hung up on, how young these people were and the price that they paid. So that's really where I was, where my head was at. And really, it was more of an emotional thing because, I was just like, wow, that's pretty crazy. And then on top of that, there's this right here, and this was the 90%. So this didn't get a lot of attention, And so what this person did on the beach there, on the Normandy beach, is made stencils, 9,000 silhouettes representing fallen people in the sand. So these are all the dead from that onslaught. So this is what it looked like. This is how many people lost their lives that day. I mean, this is staggering when you see it all kind of like person to person. And this is just part of the beach. This is, these are the people that did the stencils. Look at this. This is insane. This is an aerial view of it. Yeah, so it really gets you thinking about stuff. So I was kind of in an emotional state, and so I posted this stuff. But like I said, just kind of keep this middle paragraph in mind, because I think that's where things went bad. Okay, so amen, and then I got this from Chad. So Chad Carter said, let's honor the soldiers by whining about the kids today. Talk about politicizing what's important. Also, walk like a Nazi and quack like a Nazi, and you're probably a Nazi. So this was, I had Pamela try to decipher this, and I couldn't quite get where Chad was going here. So I'm not really sure if I should be insulted by this, or if Chad was kind of just putting his 2 cents in and, I don't know, speaking up for it, defending it. I'm not really sure. And then Howard Chaykin said, that seems like simple common sense, as you well know. Also, not sure. So then I just wrote back to Chad. When I'm not sure, I just try to say something that's kind of cryptically funny. So I said, are you saying Nazis are ducks? And so I was just trying to lighten it up. And I was kind of hoping that Chad would respond and kind of clarify. And so then there were a couple ducks. They may not be ducks, but they walk with a pronounced goose step. I thought that was funny. And then Nathan was like, if it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it was Antifa trying to make ducks look bad. So anyway, I'm going to come back to this. And this is where I want feedback from you guys. So what was Chad trying to say here? So I'll read it again. Let's honor the soldiers by whining about kids today, period. Talk about politicizing what's important. Also, walk like a Nazi and quack like a Nazi, and you're probably a Nazi. So apparently Howard Victor Chaykin knew what Chad was talking about, because I did not. So I'm going to come back and I'm going to see what you guys think of this. Like was he calling me a Nazi? Was he accusing me of politicizing Memorial Day and that picture? I'm not really sure what was going on there. So Checkpoint says maybe they misunderstood you. Yeah, I don't really know. Like I'm hoping that there might have just been a misunderstanding. Aaron says a lot were even younger than we think. My grandpa and some of his friends lied about their age so that they could join 16. Holy crap, man. Holy crap. You should feel insulted, though. Oh, okay. All right. So, yeah, so you guys feel free to chime in because, like I said, I really don't know. It's not that it's that big a deal, but it's one of those things that it just kind of bugs you when you can't figure it out. Let's see what Robert says. And thanks, you guys, for doing this. Let's see, Stephen first. It's just more of the same crap, implying people are Nazis. Yeah, but who was he calling Nazis? Was he calling the kids Nazis? Was he calling me a Nazi? Like, I don't know who it was directed at. He's saying kids are calling people Nazis are probably right and justified. Okay. He's saying kids calling people Nazis is probably right and justified. I think they're probably wrong. Okay, well, that's good. he might not have been referring to you. That's what I'm thinking. The duck thing was kind of weird though. It was really cryptic. Like I think if it didn't have the duck thing and the Nazi part of it, I would have understood it. But it seemed like it was kind of going all over the place. Let's see. Art is too innocent for this world. Maybe. I got some pretty thick skin though, so I don't take offense to too much. Either he's saying you're a Nazi, or he's saying young leftist Antifa types are the Nazis. It's vague. Well, thank you, Henry. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. It could go either way, really. So I will not. I think I will choose not to take offense, but I still want to hear you guys' feedback. No, he didn't misunderstand you. Delicate Wallflower was calling you a Nazi. Maybe he felt you were calling him weak. I don't know. I don't know if he's young or not. But I mean, basically, it's also, I didn't write it. I just reposted it. So I know that's kind of a cop out. But to also be honest, I didn't really think about like that it was throwing all kids under the bus. There are people that even if you support like the war, or you support war in general, or a strong military, that they call you names. They call you warmongers, they call you all these things, but they don't really call you Nazis. That was weird. Like I just didn't know how I could be a Nazi by supporting America, kind of thing. So anyway, I'll let it go. I'll get over it. Yeah, that's what I thought too. But there's so much more for politicizing it. But the thing is, just to defend myself, I wasn't thinking about like that I was politicizing anything. Like I always think like politicizing is like a left or right. Like you're politicizing a political point of view. But even if you're saying that kids today don't understand the price that people of the past have paid, that doesn't mean that you're a Nazi. It just means that you're kind of like trying to educate the youth, or trying to make a point saying that kids may not understand this. But I don't understand. Like I always think like politicizing is when you're going like right or left, or you're making something like politics, like you're playing politics. I didn't even think it was playing politics, because I wasn't taking a right or left point of view with it at all. So I don't freaking know. It sounds like he said the way that the kids followed the left way are acting like a duck walkers back then, like goose stepping. Yeah. And then Howard, like I hope, because I always thought that Howard was a friend. So Chaikin was just wasn't like calling me a Nazi or agreeing with that as well, because that would bug me a little bit. Hey Art, I have to go back to work. Have a nice day. Thank you so much, Victor, for hanging out with us. And thanks to everybody. I'm going to read a couple more of these, and then I'm going to move on. I have like some cool stuff to show you. Let's see. Robert says, good point, Pedro. Perhaps he thinks all of the people he's called Nazis really were Nazis, and so took the post personally. Yeah. That's what's weird. Like Twitter's even worse, because like at least with Facebook you can write a full paragraph if you want, but with Twitter, like you're limited to letter count, and so Twitter becomes even more cryptic than Facebook. It's a matter of our generation looking at the good side of things, and today's people looking at the dark side of everything. Yeah, and also just, I don't know, man. I don't know how you could not, your heart cannot go out to these soldiers, on like Memorial Day. They only get a weekend, for everybody to think about the sacrifice of many, many people in this country for freedoms, as all kinds of wars, civil wars, world wars, all kinds of stuff. And I do think that a lot of kids, a lot of younger people, and not even like just younger people, but I know some older people too, that just like my generation, that they never really fought in a war. They never really had to do without too much. So life had been relatively easy. So they can't even really relate or comprehend struggle or strife. Like they don't even understand some basic stuff like cause and effect. Like if somebody's trying to take something from you, that you should stand up to them and that you should fight back. I think that's why we get into stuff like some people believe that guns are evil and that if we got rid of guns, we would have a safe world. I happen to believe if we got rid of guns, we would have a less safe world. I do believe guns were the great equalizer in society. And I think up till the moment that guns were created, I think there was unfairness in the world, because if you were weak or smaller in size or a female or even a child, you couldn't really fight back. But if you have a gun, you have a handgun, you have a gun, all you have to do is be able to do this. You have to aim it and do this. That's a great equalizer. So if you have somebody that can devastate you physically, and you have a gun, you can teach that guy a lesson. You don't have to shoot him and kill him, but just by having the gun is a deterrent. They'll think twice about cleaning your clock and taking your possessions. So these are things I think that people, they don't understand, like these cause and effects. They don't understand that just by we the people having arms, we're stopping our own government from enslaving us. So we can also bear arms against our own government. And so I think there are people that just don't understand some of these things. They just have had it good for so long. They don't understand human nature. They don't understand that there are people that truly are evil and that would want to harm you and take your stuff or kill you. Thank you, Henry. I appreciate everybody's patriotism. I think we need more of it. And like I said, it seems very, very corny by today's standards, but I don't care anymore. I don't. Who do I care? I would be placating the wrong people if I was to say, you know what, being jingoistic, flag waving, all that stuff, that's all bad. America's superiority, all these things. No, I think that all those things are good. I think being prideful of your country, I think being willing to fight for your freedom is a good thing. And I think remembering the fallen is a good thing. So Mighty Joe says, someone take away this SJW's participation trophy. Yeah. Let's see what Dale says. I don't understand what Howard Chaykin was saying. Yeah. So social media is lousy way to communicate. Yeah, that's even more cryptic. I don't know if what he's even commenting to, which is pretty bizarre. So they're the social media equivalent of raccoons, feeding on your reactions, trying to get into your head. Yeah. Leftists see everything as political. I think that is true, Ted. I think they do, because I don't know why you would think that was so political. Like, I wasn't getting political. I was just trying to pay tribute to people, and you can't deny it. Those people they held back the Nazis. They defeated them. They defeated the Japanese. These were real threats. I don't even know how you could even debate these things, but there are people that did. Jane Fonda, the veterans that came back, they shamed the soldiers that came back from Vietnam. Holy shit, they were spitting on them, and oh my gosh, that makes me sick to my stomach. SCWs are incapable of understanding rhetoric. Probably. Checkpoint says, nah, that's all propaganda poster stuff. Sword fighting is hard. Yeah, like back to the gun thing. Like I've said on this show before, it's like when even weapons of the past, like if you had a bow and arrow or you had a sword, you had to be proficient at it. You couldn't just, like, the common person couldn't challenge you to a sword fight. If you were good at sword play and sword fighting, you could probably dominate. If you were a good marksman with a bow and arrow, you could do pretty well. But I don't think many people were that good at that stuff. So you had to have real talent to fight with a sword. But with a gun, not to say that you don't have to have talent, but if you just had a gun and somebody came at you, they would probably think twice. A person with a sword coming at you. So 7 says, I agree. But at what point do we all pack personal protection nukes? I don't know, but I think this way about just somebody having guns, because I've never been like a gun person per se. I grew up with guns in the household. My dad had guns. He went hunting. He'd go hunting. He would do stuff. He'd go to I used to go to the shooting range with him. We put the headgear on and we'd shoot. I'd go to a summer camp, Christian. It was a Catholic summer camp, and we would shoot 22 rifles. This is cool stuff. I never had a problem with weapons. I just never really had any. I never owned any. But I always like the fact that maybe my neighbor does, or my neighbor across the street, or whatever, because I think just by the knowledge that like a bad guy wants to break your house, just the knowledge that you might have a gun, may slow them down. It may make them think twice about breaking into your house because they might get shot. So you brought up nukes, and I think that there is a certain part of that, like just having them in society makes people respect people in a way that they may not have ordinarily done, because they know that you might be able to shoot them. So there's always going to be stupid people that do stupid things with guns. There's always going to be that. There's always going to be people that abuse a car, a gun, any kind of power that they have. They're going to do stupid things with it. So that's always going to happen. You can't legislate. You can try to legislate against that, but if somebody's going to do something stupid, they're going to do something stupid. There's not much you can do about it. That's the human condition. And I think that is one of the things that modern society, they really do think that if we can put everybody into a vacuum, into a protective vacuum, then the world will be a better place. Case in point, COVID and the lockdowns. There are people that actually thought that we were better off with the lockdown, with masks and all these things, and not socializing, and at the great cost of losing businesses. All kinds of stuff, not being able to bury loved ones, not being able to hang out at holidays with loved ones, just all kinds of stuff. We're going to be feeling the effects of this lockdown for years, for at least 2 years. It's going to take to get back to normal. And I don't think it's going to end there. I think that the government's going to keep using this power, and they're going to keep legislating and taking away freedoms. But personal freedom does come along with it. So by and large, most people do follow the rules. Most people do, look out for each other. Very few people are irresponsible that way. So I think we need to trust people. I think we need to let them have their freedoms. And when this shit happens, it's going to happen. But the news they just over exaggerate everything. They make it sound like it's an epidemic. I remember when drive-by shootings in California were on the upswing, and the news was all over it. Oh, guy with a gun points at another car. Somebody shoots at another car. Blah blah blah. They made it sound like it was going out of control. And so this is when Hack-Shack3 is. This was decades ago. And so one of the guys working there, he came from where was it? It was another state, Midwest state, and he was afraid. They just had a little girl. He and his wife were afraid and stuff like that. And he's like, it's happening everywhere. I'm afraid. Blah blah blah. And I said, I don't think you should be afraid. And he said, why? I said, do you know anybody personally that has been carjacked? Do you know anybody that have you had a gun pointed at you? Do you know anybody? And he said, no. And I said, because it doesn't happen that often. It happens once, every so often, and then the news just blows it out of proportion, and then everybody thinks this is the norm. They think everybody's getting shot on the freeway, and it's just not the case. So I do think that you need to just kind of bring it down into your world and just go, do I know anybody like this? Have I seen anything like this firsthand? I think this is pretty rare, and then just think for yourself. But legislation and say that we need to take guns away from people, I don't think that's the answer. So Henry says, getting rid of guns doesn't get rid of evil people. Exactly. Sometimes you need guns to protect yourself from evil people. I completely agree. And I do think that the gun is the great equalizer. I really do. I think up to the point of anybody and everybody being able to own a gun, I think the biggest and the strongest were able to just take whatever they wanted. And they did. So let's see what Joe says. That's right, guns are bad. The person is, if someone killed a person with a car, would you ban a car? I used to say that all the time. I was hit by a motorcycle and I was almost killed. Just a passenger. Well, I wasn't even a passenger. I was just a pedestrian walking across the street. A motorcycle comes out of nowhere and hits me, almost kills me. So you can do a lot of damage with even a motorcycle. And it was hit and run. That guy tried to take off. Okay, Jeff says, gun control debate comes from the parenting that takes things away from kids as opposing to telling them, no, don't touch that. Yes. Yeah. No is okay. Like there was a generation that was saying like, don't tell your kids no, because no is destructive. It's a negative word. No can save your life. Your kid's putting a frickin' knife into a light socket or your outlet, and you say no. Don't do that. That's not negative. That'll save their lives. Until Murphy's Law comes into play, if nukes end with nuclear annihilation, history will judge nuclear weapons poorly. If there's anyone left to write history, that is. Yeah, nuclear annihilation is very scary, and I grew up in that time, with the nuclear arms race and stuff like that, and it was pretty scary, because it's not about just two tribes bashing it out. It's definitely like it ends a lot of life at one time, and then there's fallout from that as well. So I think that's something completely different, but it is a deterrent, and up to this point, it has kept people relatively safe. So, that's one of those things that I guess you can still debate. I think that you can still debate, whether we still need nukes or not. That I think is open to debate. It's going to take better minds than ours and mine to figure that one out. But you could argue those things, because I think there's good arguments on both sides. When they enact the Second Amendment, we had private ownership of warships. People own cannons and other equivalent heavy weaponry. I actually like that. I do, because I often think, like, if our government did try to turn on us, or just like, searches and seizures, like they're trying to say, like, I think the Patriot Act was saying that they don't need a whole lot to actually just search your house, just break into your house. They might not even need a warrant. They don't have to go through legal channels to do that if they think that there was terrorism involved, or a terrorist threat. So, yeah, these like I said, these are for better minds than ours, indeed. So we really need force fields and phasers to set the stun. Yes. I think stun guns are good if they could take people down quicker. And they were just like more effective, I think. More people are murdered by bare hands than by guns. Prevention starts with the heart. Wow, that's really good. That's really good. Yeah, I remember this was some years back. They were saying there were more fatalities with a hammer, like just a basic hammer, than there were with handguns. So statistically speaking, you can turn a lot of different things into weapons. So you don't necessarily need to kill people with just guns. I think guns scare a lot of people because they don't understand them. I think they're fearful just because of a gun. I think they understand a knife. I think they understand a hammer. I think they understand a screwdriver or a rock. They understand those things. I think they're people that are fundamentally afraid of firearms, just in general. And because of their fear, they don't think anybody should have them. That's me personally. I think it's just a fear of the weapon itself. Oh shit, dude. I would love to own a frickin' tank. Oh my gosh. There was a guy when I lived in California, and there's part of California where we lived in Corona that was what do they call that? It's not on the grid. It's they don't have power. They kind of generate their own power. They have their own gas. They have their own. They dig for their own wells and stuff. They're like off the grid, the city and the state. And there was this guy, and I only could speculate that he was a collector, but not just of like old like military weaponry and stuff, but he had like old fire engines, like Model Ts, like all kinds of vehicles and things. And he had them, I assume he had them in his backyard, or he had them in storage. But every once in a while, they would be he had a big front yard. They would be in the front yard. And I do remember seeing like an old, like it was probably from the Second World War tank. It was freaking cool, man. It was in good shape too. Like these weren't like all rusted versions. Like the fire truck was in pristine shape. These Model Ts, these old vehicles and stuff, they were in immaculate shape. And so I always thought, like, he probably would rent these out to Hollywood, or people that needed photo shoots or wanted these type of old vehicles and stuff like that, because he had so much of this stuff and it was in great shape. So I could only speculate that maybe he was renting these things out to Hollywood. But yeah, that would be cool, man. I think he also had like with those old cannons, like they used in like the Civil War and stuff, like the musket cannons and stuff. Yeah, it was really cool. Joe says, this generation is instant gratification and they are being raised as entitled. It's up to us to raise them against that participation trophy to the winning trophy. Yeah. And I think we are seeing some of this pushback, because I think the proof is in the pudding, as they used to say, and we're starting to see the seeds that were sowed. I think society is starting to see the ramifications of it. The parenting aspects of society and the younger people. But like I always say, to be fair as well, the new generation was raised by the generation before, and a lot of them are the ones that failed these kids. So it's not just these kids acting out. They're just doing what they were kind of raised to do. Part of it is nurture, and part of it's nature. Okay, Al says, in my opinion, trade liberty for security, get neither. Yes. I think when you go to the government and you say, make me feel secure, make me feel safe, you end up giving away a lot of freedoms. I think this past year and a half with COVID and all this, I think this just showed our not military, but our leaders, our Washington people, that we're very, very weak and we're very gullible, and that we would indeed trade security for our liberties. What was that Devo song? Freedom of choice is what you got. Freedom from choice is what you want. So I do believe there are people that they don't know what to do with their freedom. It's too much responsibility. They don't want it, for sure. Oh yeah, we need to ban semi-automatic hammers. Yeah, they have those those air guns too, like those air nailers. They tried to put like a safety, like you have to, because I actually took prop building in college. So when I was young, this was probably late 70s. So we had those air guns even then, and so, but they didn't have the safeties on them. So you could just push them down, pop, 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 and so then they put the safety on it. So when you push it down, it actually will fire. It won't just, you can't just aim it and fire it. It has this mechanism. But I know people that are in construction, and they told me all you have to do is you can just pull that thing back with your finger, and you can still shoot it in any direction. So if somebody wants to do something effed up, they're gonna do it, man. There's not much you can do about it, So I think to legislate this stuff is ridiculous. What we should be teaching is just to be respectful to these. My dad was a tool guy. He said, be respectful to your tools, because your tools can hurt you. So if you do stupid shit with your tools, they're gonna hurt you. You're gonna cut yourself. You're gonna lose fingers, all kinds of stuff. He said, so always respect your tools, and that's a start. So I think it's part of it is just respect these things. Hammers are brutal. Back hammer on Indiegogo. That's a good segue. Yeah, man, claw hammers. If you think about a claw hammer, holy shit, drive that into somebody. Yeah, you can do some major damage. A crowbar, you can do some major damage. Yeah, I mean, come on, people. This is just stupid. You can't touch this. Hammer time. I've always wanted a howitzer. I always wondered, what are those called? Those Lugers with don't they have like the big box clips on them and stuff? I always thought they just looked really cool. They're kind of like an old-fashioned spy gun too, like spies would use them. Don't get in between a well-armed EVS and the pie. Yes. Oh man, we got Stefani. What's up, Stefani? Brilliant artist, brilliant artist, man. Well, you know what? I'm gonna wrap this up because it's lunchtime, and I know my wife likes to have lunch with me. Oh my gosh, don't get me going. Art, you should have replaced Captain America, not Sam. Sam the Eagle. I'm going to read this and I'm going to move on. Unfortunately, humans prefer safety over liberty. Religion, community, civil society in general provides safety. And then people will embrace liberty. If those institutions are gone, people turn to government. Yeah, it's funny. This is my favorite thing about the government. Okay, so it's usually like more of a Democrat or like a liberal point of view. So they're like, the government socialize this, socialize that. The government's the answer. But what they don't understand is that there's still another side of the government. There's a Republican side. There's a conservative side. So when they turn to the government, what government? Like, the government is comprised of both those parties. The government is comprised of many different points of view, debates, all kinds of different stuff is going on. So when you turn to the government, they hated Donald Trump. Well, Donald Trump's the government. You know what I mean? Like, is it only one particular government? And if so, then is that why they want to devastate, the right? Because if they can get the right out of the way, then they can have their safe society. They can pretty much have their plastic bubbles, and they can live where the government makes all the decisions for them, and see how long that lasts before they all get all crazy about it and start going, you know what? Remember when you used to have freedom? Remember when you could do stuff, when you could make decisions for yourself? Can't do that anymore. Those were the days. Oh boy, were those the days. I hope that never happens, because that'd be a shame for my daughter to look back and go, remember freedom? Remember how great that was? Yeah. Well, it's not here anymore. All right, you guys. Well, the thing is, I have a pre-launch. I have a pre-launch page for Black and White. So Black and White Volume 2 is the pre-launch page is up and running. So if you like cool comic books that are just fun action with a little bit of spy drama thrown in, you're going to love Black and White. So this is all the stuff we're kind of talking about, you guys. So in a world where law and order is often blurred to gray, justice can only be black and white. So one of the ideas behind this was, when I created Black and White alongside my wife, who helped me with it, we were kind of, it was a little bit of backlash to the gray area supposed heroes that were dominating comic books. And so I was thinking, like, I kind of like, who's the heroes? Who's the villain of this story? Like, when the villain acts like, when the hero acts like the villain, it becomes really hard. It muddies the water. So I thought, what if you had a character that was altruistic, that actually had a moral compass, that always worked, always, pointed north. And what if he was teamed up with a character that may be a little bit more morally flexible to represent current, mindset? So that's what Black and White basically is. It's Black who pretty much has that, altruism. He's a guy that will always make the right decision. And then you have a person that lives more in the gray area universe. The ends justify the means. And so what happens when you team these two up? You're going to have fireworks. Basically, it's going to be ballistic, because they're not always going to agree on the best way of doing things. So I thought, what else was good is, I was writing it with my wife, and what if we made the perspectives male and female? So that would even, then you have more diversity between the two thought. You have more of this difference between these two characters. And so usually all good drama comes from conflict. And so I thought that, the conflict is based, it's right here in the characters, in the concept. So that's pretty much Black and White in a nutshell. It's a good, fun action adventure. It's in the far-flung future. Well, not too far-flung, where it's a made-up reality. I always like George Lucas's Star Wars, where, in a galaxy far, far away. He's not, they never call things Earth. They never call things human. There's no humans in it. It's just kind of this world that exists. And so I kind of like that idea. So Black and White isn't in a really defined world. So it's not necessarily our world. It's loosely based on it. So in this universe, like high tech, robots, what is it? AI exists in this universe, and also on some level supernatural. So I haven't really got too much into the supernatural aspects of it, but they are there. So when you read the book, you're gonna kind of see some supernatural stuff. Even in the first issue, there was some supernatural elements to the story, and we're gonna get into that more in future stories. So Black and White Volume 2 is Man versus Machine. If you sign up now, you will get, with the backing, a special trading card, and that's based on this artwork that I did with Stefani Renee. So Stefani did the color work. I did the pencils, inks on this piece. I think it came out great. So this is going to be the freebie trading card. So it's just a little teaser. Trust me, there's more artwork here. There's a lot of crazy robots in this piece, and it'll blow your mind. I think it came out great. So also, we're going to have some early bird specials. So if you sign up, you will have access to these early bird specials. And trust me, we're going to have a lot of limited tiers, a lot of really collectible stuff, and they're going to sell out quickly. So you're going to want to get into to the, when it goes live, you're going to want to get into it early. So you'll be able to have that too. So we'll be able to contact you with your information, give you the heads up before anybody else. So you can basically ransack the shop. You can go in there, ransack the shop, get all the early bird specials, all the collectibles, and before they sell out, and get yourself a free trading card in the process. So the link is in the description. So please click on it. All it is a little information, just a couple minutes, and you can get some really cool freebies and be part of I think is going to be an amazing campaign. And this campaign is going to be killer. I got so many things planned, things that it's hard for me not to tell you guys. I mean, I'm biting my tongue every freaking live stream. It's horrible. My tongue is numb. So this is the cool thing I'm going to share with you now. Let me make sure it's up. Okay, yeah, it is there. So hopefully I can do this without a hitch, with no hitch involved. And let's do this. All right, I'm going to share this with you. And this Comicsgate's own, man, Red Gaze, helped me out with this. There is so much talent, so many great people in Comicsgate. And so this is it right here. Yes! Woohoo! Man versus Machine, baby! Sign up now. So hopefully that all worked. So hopefully that got across. I'm going to play it again. It just came out so good. It's still work in progress. So there's a few pieces of artwork that we're going to trade out. And yeah, and then I'm going to be posting this bad boy around. So if the page itself didn't do it, then hopefully that video got you guys off your butts to go and sign up. I'll tell you right now, Red Gaze freaking went above and beyond on this thing. That video is so cool. When I saw just the opening, I lost my shit. I was like, oh man, this is so cool. Yeah, black and white. Like when I see this stuff, like with Inko, you know, Elizabeth from the chat, we were just talking about it. She drew up Inko. I think some of you guys have put up like some great fan art, black and white fan art, Inko fan art. Chrono Mechanics fan art. You know, Pedro has done some he's done some animation. Like he did Black, like an animated version of Black. It's just kind of like an animatic of him walking. It's so freaking cool. He did these awesome animated versions of black and white. Just killer. You guys are just the best, man. There's so much talent, and as long as we keep like just sharing our talent and we keep supporting each other on these projects, I guarantee you this will be history in the making. I've said it before, if we can go another 3 years now, if we can go like total of 5 years, like 5 to 6 years, and we can keep building this thing, it'll be undeniable. The history books will have to acknowledge, you know, these Nazis and istophobes, you know, that are trying to just do good comics and trying to, I don't know, just bring things back to, I don't know, just sheer entertainment, no agenda, just sheer entertainment, just good, clean fun. And I know all of this stuff makes me sound like an old timer, but like I said earlier, I don't care, man. This is stuff that I loved as a kid. This is stuff I still love as an adult. All of Comicsgate are doing these type of books. A lot of these books date back to our childhood or when we were a lot younger. You know, Cyberfrog, you know, is Ethan Van Sciver resurrecting his IP. Dan Fraga with Black Flag. You know, these are like ideas that we had as kids. Black and white comes from my love of Green Hornet and Kato. You know, you can see it in the characters. You know, so these are things that we've been carrying around all of our lives, you know, and now we're in a place creatively that we can do them, we can execute them, and we have a fan base that will support it. So I'm eternally grateful to you guys. Thanks for all the support on the original Black and White Volume 1 campaign. Chrono Mechanics is still up and running, you guys, so it's still in demand. And if you back a book today, they will go out ASAP, and that link is in the description as well. So thank you, Henry. I do appreciate it. Stephen, you guys are the best. Robert Romano, very cool. Pedro, awesome. Checkpoint, he gives it a thumbs up. Stephen says Yori signed up. Looks great art, signed up. You guys are the best. Henry says keep politics out of our escapism. Couldn't agree more. Yeah, in the entertainment, I mean, we can talk about it in these live streams, and it's more like it's like therapy, right? Like we're just airing our grievances. Like we have this is the public forum, right? This is the street corner where we could go, or the town council where we could go and we can talk about things, and we can kind of air our dirty laundry, and then maybe something will come out of it, you know. But at the very least, are coming out of it. So we might not change the world, but I think some killer comic books are coming out of this whole thing. So CG is not a hate group, you guys. So thanks, man. Thank you very much. We are starting to get into impressive numbers on this. I have to tell you, because I've said it on previous live streams, that you guys have asked, when are you going to go live? When are you going to go live? everything's pretty much ready to go live. Pamela, my wife, and I, who are running the campaign and putting these books together, just I think out of confidence, we want to get a certain amount, and then when we feel that that's there, then we'll have confidence to launch it. So far, you guys have you've already just made us very happy, but we're still a little shy. So once we get to that place that Pamela and I feel confident, then we're gonna launch this thing. So I'm thinking a month, like sometime this month we'll launch it, or if we get enough signatures, we'll launch it even before the end of this month. So that's kind of the plan at this point. So look forward to it at the end of this month. But if we can get the word out, if you guys can share this out on your social media, share the link, the black and white pre-launch link. I'm going to be posting the video soon. I think Red Gaze and we have like 3 tweaks to go, and once those tweaks are there, then I'm going to be putting it up on the site, the pre-launch site, and I'm going to be sharing it on all my social media, and I'll be playing the hell out of it on my live streams because it just looks amazing. So thanks again, you guys. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for hanging with me. Thanks for the super chats. I do appreciate it. Once again, you guys, this community is amazing. Peyton's coming in late, but I will say hi to Peyton. What's up, my friend? I'm drunk. Well, that's good. That's good, man. It's a little early for me. Yeah, I don't like to feel inebriated this early in the morning. Just a quick aside. We went out to brunch, and I had one of these mimosa breakfasts, and I'll tell you, man, it kicked my ass for the rest of the day. It was pretty intense. So anyways, you guys have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful weekend as well. And I will see you